3 years ago, at a Zeds Dead Concert, a stranger handed me this Pokémon card. And last month, the universe handed it back. And I bet you'll never guess where I found it. Welcome to the Prismatic Nomad. I'm Damon, and this is a story about synchronicity and how sometimes meaning finds you when you're finally ready to hear it. So, 3 years ago, in October was my birthday, and my friends and I decided that we were going to go to a Zeds Dead show. It was down in Eugene. It was, it turned itself into a little 3-day weekend for us, and we went down and got an Airbnb, got all settled, went out to the show, and if you've ever been to an EDM show or a music festival, you already have an idea of where this story is going. The lights, the music, the vibes, everything was just vibing. I mean, that's really the best way I can put it. We were all dressed up in our glitter gear and our glow lights and you name it. And the music was just hitting. We were all dancing together, and if you and your friends are familiar with the festival scene, then either yourself or one of the people in your group are likely the kind of person who, at a certain point in the night, becomes a little bit of a social butterfly and flits away from the group to go explore. Well, I just so happened to be that person in my group. So as you can imagine, the night was going, the music was just blaring, the visuals were on point. And I was just in my element, having an amazing time, dancing with strangers, men, women, you name it, it doesn't matter. We were all there for the same reason. I ended up bumping into these two guys in onesies, and I don't remember their names, but if the universe wills them to see this and you remember this, please say something in the comments. Anyway, one of the guys asked me if I was a Pokemon card collector, and I told him I wasn't, but he asked me if I wanted a card anyway. And I said, sure, it was my birthday, what the hell? It was in that moment when he handed this card to me, and it turned out to be one of my favorite Pokemon lines. Now, to most people, getting a Meditite card is probably not a big deal. I'm not a collector, so I honestly have no idea what worth or value or anything like that is on, in the market on that. But to me, it was such a significant thing because I was at a show in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by thousands of people, and I just so happened to get one of my favorite Pokemon as a gift for my birthday. And I thought that that was synchronicity in itself. My face, oh my God, when he handed it to me, I lit up so big. I was just like ecstatic. I think I actually kind of teared up a little bit, and I semi-tackled the guy and gave him a giant hug, which low-key is a little bit cringe, but honestly, in the moment, I didn't care. I was just so happy. Needless to say, the night went on. We had an amazing time. I ended up getting back together with my group of friends, and we finished out the night strong, went home, and I took my gift with me. Now, if you know anything about Meditite, then you know a little bit about what made it so different when it first came out. It was the only fighting psychic Pokemon at the time, if I'm remembering correctly. which was kind of a big deal. And it wasn't like meta defining, but it definitely shifted something. And there was something very interesting about that, because up until that point, I was very much a psychic Pokemon fan. But something about this Pokemon just really drew me to it. I also really liked the whole belly dancer, like, kind of vibe. The harem pants was very much a vibe. So yeah, it had been one of my favorite Pokemon for quite some time. And like I'm saying, it's a very mundane card, but in that moment, it meant everything to me. Around that time, my roommate and I were discussing selling our townhouse, and I was planning on moving back home. If you know anything about my backstory, or if you don't know anything about my backstory, my grandmother passed away recently. She had dementia, and I decided to move home so that I could help my mother with her in her last days, and would not trade that for anything. It was such an amazing experience, difficult, but something that I will remember forever. So during that time, I was in transition and starting to pack things up and getting things put into storage, and a lot of things ended up finding a home inadvertently, and this card happened to be one of them. As time passed, I honestly kind of forgot all about it, and last month I was going through my storage, kind of downsizing some things, and I found a tote with a bunch of books in it. It was pretty ragtag. I obviously was just kind of throwing things in there in the moment. But I stumbled across a journal that I had all but forgotten that I had received. And it was the Project 369 journal. Now, this was kind of all the rage a few years ago. I remember a lot of people were talking about it, and a lot of the woo-woo community was a buzz, and it was the trendy thing to do, was to get a 369 journal at the time. So I got one. I actually never even filled the damn thing out. I remember getting it, and it was right in that time when I was like packing things up and getting ready to make this big transition. And I think at the time I had planned on picking it back up when I moved, and then life happened. Well, when I grabbed the book last month, I did a quick page turn, and lo and behold, on page 9, where are we? Here we are. Page 9. It says Rebirth. If it'll zoom in on that. There we go. This is the first part of this chapter, and the Metatite card was tucked away right in the middle. And in that moment, I felt like the universe was acknowledging all of the work that I've put in the last 3 years. I have really focused a lot on my physical health, my mental health, my spiritual growth. And I think the universe just so happened to recognize that and gifted me my Metatite card once again. Now, Metatite and Metacham, and more specifically Mega Metacham, are the Pokemon of physical, mental, and spiritual growth. Each one of the arcs is really a statement about spiritual enlightenment, and as someone who has really kind of found myself amongst those three pillars between mind, body, and spirit, I think that this was the universe's just little nudge of acknowledgement to me, letting me know that I was on the right track. You know, not all synchronicities are big and loud or in your face as much as we would like them to be. Sometimes they're the most mundane, small flicker of a moment. And honestly, sometimes those are the ones that have the most impact. A synchronicity that just you would be able to see wouldn't mean anything to anyone else, but for you in that moment could open your eyes to so many other different possibilities that are available to you as a person. Fun side note, so the card was on page 9. I also found the journal in June, so month 6, and I received the card 3 years ago. Well, 3 years and 9 months ago. Not to make this feel a little weird, but anyway, 369 journal, 3 years and 9 months, in June, on page 9. Maybe I'm just connecting the dots where I feel like they need to be connected, but I'm just saying, maybe there's a little something to it. Anyway, if you got anything out of this story, I would really love to hear what kind of small, mundane synchronicities have happened in your life. And also, I'd love to hear what your favorite Pokemon are. Feel free to put those down in the comments. I love hearing about people's interests, especially things that are either nerdy or spiritual or a little woo-woo. But yeah, thank you so much for your time today. I know this was a short one, but I really appreciate your time. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope the synchronicities find you when you're ready. And as always, be bold, be beautiful, and be yourself. Thank you.